Welcome, I'm Brent, Bubba's brother with Bubba's Cruising Concerts. We are here to talk about what I would call a shocking thing in the world of cruising in Royal Caribbean. Yeah, I mean, is Royal Caribbean is overbooking cruises, and I've got some instances in the. We'll put up the sources to verify this, where you're not just taking our word for it, since we have lack of credibility at this time. This is confirmed on websites like cruisehive.com and cruiseradio.net. They've confirmed these. Recently, in the last 4 months, 5 months here, they've overbooked 3 cruises. These three here have all been on the new Wonder of the Seas, which is some of the problem, but they have overbooked cruises. We also have a copy of a letter from a guest that they had put up, and we can put their name out, cross their name out, and put that up where you can see, the letter. But they called this an unexpected inventory error, which is word for computer glitch. I think most people agree. And if you've been on their website, the word computer glitch in the Royal Caribbean website makes a lot of sense.
It's not the most user-friendly site.
No, it is a very glitchy website. I mean, it's just something strange. It's better than it was a couple years ago, but I mean, it is something all the time on that. I mean, but the 3 cruises that have been overbooked are the December the 11th of 22 cruise, March 12th of 23, which was the spring break cruise for a lot of college type students, I believe. And the upcoming cruise that leaves this Sunday, April the 30th, is overbooked. These are unexpected inventories. The guests have been, it's almost like an airline where you get at the airport and they say, hey, we need some volunteers basically that want to come off the cruise, and you can either move. You got a couple options. You can either move to a different ship at the same time, because if you're somebody with a job and you've took off work, moving a different week is complicated. I know for one of the cruises there, they had offered them to move to the Explorer of the Seas, which is a 23-year-old older ship.
Yeah. If you're going on the Wonder, you don't really want to
No.
drop down to the 20-year-old ship.
You can move to another week, which, like I said, is complication with vacations, this thing. No, but it was during the summer season, so that if you had kids and stuff from school. And then the other one was to get a full refund on your cruise, and then have a future cruise credit as well. So you basically, if you did take them up, you're going to get a really good deal if you did one of the don't move. If you moved it to the Explorer, they were going to give you a full credit for your cruise and give you $300 to spend. So you'd get a cruise for nothing.
And do you know how far in advance they're letting you know from your research?
The guy for the one April 30th, he got his notice a week ahead of time. So it was Saturday, so 8 days, I guess, technically. So,
but yeah, I mean, unless you're,
to me, it's unacceptable.
Yeah, I mean, you really can't, like, if you're leaving in a week, a $300 credit is
a lot of
useless.
People are packed by then.
When you're packed and you've got transportation and work and all the other stuff lined up, I mean.
Yeah, it's surprising to me that a billion-dollar company can have this going on. It's shocking, and that this kind of things are going on. I mean, I've not heard this from Carnival. I've not heard it from MSC, Norwegian. It just seems to be Royal Caribbean. They're glitchy, and also too a new one, Celebrity Millennium, which is a 12-night Southern Japan cruise, which is October the 24th. It is overbooked. So Celebrity, as you know, same family. I mean, it's not Coke and Pepsi. This is the same family, so owned by the same thing. So that was from cruiseradio.net as well. So that I don't know how it's happening, but it's something that is happening more often. That's one cruise in the last 2 months, and you got to look. Guess what? The ship's sold out. Peak summer travel is coming up, so I assume there's going to be more of this in the summer season.
Could be, like, one of the tips that I would say on how to avoid that is that if you have a specific room, I don't see how it can be oversold. I would assume the inside guarantees or balcony guarantees is where it's coming.
The guaranteed rooms are the general consensus. Of course, I mean, Royal Caribbean doesn't really let a lot of secrets out about this. The general consensus among people, or is the guaranteed rooms. And I found this myself looking at this April 30th cruise, kind of looking at prices, and I went on there, and this cruise had been sold, and all of a sudden I click on it, and it says, hey, you 3 people can get in an inside room at like $2,100. Should have clicked on it, booked it, but it was just such a kind of a thing where like, oh Lord, this is that. So from there, I was like, this seems kind of odd that this pops up. Then it disappeared in a few days, and then wondered what happened. Then the website goes off the cruise. It's off Royal Caribbean's website as of today still. So that's what got us to checking into this, was us just checking prices
And if
basically.
they're locking, and if I'd be curious to know, like if you switch to future selling, if you only get $2,100 of credit, or if it's
Well, if you switch to a future selling, it didn't mention about a lot of money, because you're going in July. But it was if you went on the odd ship or like just canceled altogether. But you had to use your cruise credit by March or April of 24, so not a lot of time.
And I might feel a little bit better about booking directly opposed to third party.
It gets complicated. Or kind of the moral of the story is get your room assigned. Don't do the guaranteed rooms. And another thing here is I was looking, just we check cruise prices a lot, and recently, and I saw another one. This is just me on the website. I didn't confirm with anybody, but I was looking. There was this cruise that showed up this dirt cheap price. Grandeur of the Seas leaves May the 20th. It's a 7-night Western Caribbean cruise out of Tampa, and it wouldn't let me book the room with 2 adults in it. But then when I did 2 adults and a child, which is my family, it lets me book the cruise, the same room. And it's like, it was a ridiculous price, too cheap. And then all of a sudden now it's gone again too. So it's like, that's my opinion. That's another one of those computer glitches. It's more, before we started the video, it's back up expensive now. And that was on Costco Travel's website. I was messing around with that. So I don't know what's going on, but there are a lot of bugs, a lot of glitches in their system.
Yeah, so hopefully it's not done on purpose.
It kind of makes you wonder.
But like you said, it could be the airplane method of we're going to overbook the flight because certain percentage of people aren't showing up.
Yep, we want this ship full, and in the end, we still netted more money at the end.
Because with the inside guarantee, you do not know your room till. Well, usually you know in advance, like a day or two in advance.
Yeah, you get a little notice. Yeah. Sometimes.
So it's not just when you walk in.
I think they have the right to tell you as you walk on the pier. You don't have a lot of rights to that.
But that they could change.
So hopefully they get this straightened out. But this Royal Caribbean buggy website has been going on for years, so I expect it to be more confusion in the future. That's it.